New York Post Jets beat writer Brian Costello has a trending article up on the Post website. Check out the title. Jets must clear painfully low bar for fans' sake versus the Falcons. Kaz is on now. We're going to break down this article. Kaz, thanks for jumping on with us. We know all about the quarterback situation with the New York Jets, but what is the biggest problem this franchise's front office and ownership faces right now?
Ooh, that's a big one, Brandon. I think, like I wrote, it's just looking functional. I think Jets fans are realistic. They know that when Aaron Rodgers went down 4 plays into the season, that the Super Bowl hopes went out the window. They recognize that there's guys playing on the offensive line who are backups to backups. But, you watch football, you watch other games, Brandon, and other teams are functioning. And even with backups, they're still be able to score touchdowns. They're still able to get first downs. Right now, the Jets are unwatchable. They are brutal, and they have to figure this out. That's the job of the coaches, is figure this out. And they don't have to look like the 1999 Rams, but they've got to get to a point where they can score some touchdowns, move the ball, and just look functional, Brandon. I think that's the big thing, is just give your fans something to watch.
Well, you mentioned the quarterback play. I guess what does it say about the Jets coaching staff that the Giants can win 2 games with undrafted free agent Tommy DeVito, and the Jets struggle with theirs? How low is the bar for this team?
Yeah, I mean, the bar is that. It's just being functional, like I said. I think the DeVito thing, Brandon, what strikes me is the Giants' offense is every bit as bad as the Jets, maybe worse, like statistically worse. But the Giants fans have something to watch right now. DeVito's a good story. He's a fun story. They've won 2 games. Look, they got the Commanders and the Patriots. That helps. The Jets have faced the Dolphins and the Bills the last 2 weeks. They're much tougher opponents. But Giants fans, I think, are looking forward to watching Tommy DeVito each Sunday. And there's something to watch there. I don't think anyone's fooling themselves into thinking Tommy DeVito is going to be the answer at quarterback for the Giants long term. But it's just fun, and there's nothing fun about the Jets right now. It's just tough to watch. So to me, that's a damning thing on this coaching staff and on the players is you've got to get to where you're a functioning offense, and you should be able to score between 17 and 20 points, Brandon. In my opinion, you can't get 6 points and 10 points every single week. They've got to get around 20, and with this defense, they can win some games. And Brandon, they got a couple games coming up. Atlanta they're not world beaters, right? And Houston, I know CJ Stroud's had a great season, but the Jets should be able to play against these teams and get some wins.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see how these next 2 games play out. Obviously, what's been reported is Aaron Rodgers said that he plans to return this season regardless, but he's since kind of dismissed that on the Pat McAfee show. Just more stuff for us to talk about, Kaz. How do you think all this is going to play out?
Yeah, I think we're going to know in the next 2 weeks, Brandon. I think we're hitting crunch time now. I think you'll see Aaron, starting to do some running on the field this week, and I'm not sure if he'll practice. Like, I think he might be off to the side with the trainers for this week, and then maybe next week you see him start throwing in practice. But the Jets have to win. I really don't believe Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the field if the Jets are out of this. And when you look at it, I think 10-7 is what's going to get to the playoffs in the AFC. The Jets have 7 losses already, so they can't really afford many more losses. So I think if they somehow win against Atlanta and Houston, and now you're 6-7, now the Rodgers talk gets real. And does he come back for that Miami game or the Commanders game the week after that? But if they lose another game, I think you're telling Aaron Rodgers, hey, wait till next year to play.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. But either way, Giants fans, they're all feeling it right now, because the expectations this season was a little bit too high for both teams. Brian Costello, thanks for jumping on with us.
No problem. Thanks, Brandon.